Ladies and gentle gamers, welcome back to Be Determined. In today's video, we have a brand new update for basically Tarantula T5 Slayer Part 2, as well as a bunch of QOL changes to some foraging things and to farming gravel. So if you guys end up enjoying today's video, make sure to drop a like and let's jump into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the brand new Shriveled Cornea. This is a new recipe that is unlocked at Tarantula Slayer level 8. And it's a reforged stone that only works on belts. It gives pretty good strength, pretty solid crit chance, and crit damage, as well as the bloodshot bonus. When killing an enemy, you have a 2.5% chance to cocoon them. Cocooned enemies will quickly hatch and can be killed again. So apparently this works on literally all mobs. It's not just on Slayer bosses or Slayer mini bosses, unlike the Primordial's base ability. But you can see here at the bottom, it will not trigger in dungeons, Kudra, or on bosses. So they have changed all of the bosses on the Crimson Isle. Barbduke, Ashfang, Blade Soul, those guys, all 5 of the bosses there now are bosses and are not mini bosses, so they do not have a chance to respawn when this ability procs. And a lot of people were excited about this because of the Inquisitor. I believe that has been changed though. I know there was a point on Alpha where you could use this on Inquisitors and have a chance to respawn them, but I believe that was changed and you cannot respawn them anymore unless they reverted that change at some point. So we'll kind of have to wait until Diana comes around to know for sure, but based on the alpha changes, it shouldn't work on Inquisitors. They have also changed the mosquito pet crafting recipe, so it now requires 4 digested mosquitoes, and then none of the upgrades after that point at cat will cost mosquitoes anymore. So everything after that is going to be a certain amount of tarantula silk to upgrade from common to uncommon. It is 8 tarantula silk, then to rare it's 16, to epic it's 32, and to legendary it's a full stack, as well as a certain amount of coins based on the level and rarity of the pet. But another pretty major change that they've made is right here on the spider's den. If we head over to the gravel mines right here, you'll notice that if we mine a little bit of gravel, it will actually respawn somewhat quickly. It's not instant or anything, but you'll notice that the gravel here is not just completely gone like it normally is. They have actually revamped it, so the area is a little bit easier to navigate. You can see that it's a little bit different of a map style in here now. But yeah, all that gravel we just mined and the time it took me to go to the other end and back, it's already regrown. So the regrow time is much nicer, which means the price of tarantula silk and of course gravel, flint in general should be going down. They did also change some things with the Broodfather itself. So you'll notice now that the egg sacs up here spawned way higher than they usually do. So depending on the height of the ceiling where you're fighting the boss at, it might be a little bit more difficult to shoot at them, but realistically, it shouldn't be that much of an issue. It just takes a little bit longer for the arrows to travel all the way there, but other than that, the fight is the same. But of course, the most important part of this update, if we go to a mob that's going to be attacking me here, like this old wolf, for example, you'll notice I am currently using a G-Drag with a Shellmet, but if I despawn it, I still don't take knocked back, and that is because they have finally changed the Shellwise shard ability Shell, which now is going to give a percentage chance to negate knockback, but once it's level 10, it will give you a 100% chance to negate all knockback, the same as the Dwarf Turtle Shellmet does. So it works the exact same way as Shellmet does once it's up to level 10. If you have a lower level than that, it's going to give a percentage chance. So if it's at 5, you will have a 50% chance to negate knockback. If it's at 7, you'll have a 70% chance, etc. But that means you can basically take all of your Dwarf Turtle Shellmets off of any pets that you have them on. So if you've got a couple of G-Drags lying around, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have an Antique Remedies on one for damage and a minus relic on another for magic find. But yeah, you can change any of your pet items to whatever you want it to be on now. But that is all for today's update. I know it was a pretty short list, but I felt like it was a big enough deal that I needed to talk about it. So if you guys ended up enjoying, make sure to drop a like on this one, smash the sub button if you haven't already. We're closing in on 30,000 subscribers for that red name on Hypixel. But as always, thank you so much for watching to the end, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you in the next one. God bless.